What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore here, Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. I know we had a little technical difficulty. I was moments ago is like how the thing loads like going live, and I'm just like, oh man, please don't tell me the Wi-Fi is down. And I checked the Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi was working, thank goodness. And thought I wasn't gonna be able to go live right away, and I was like, oh, please let me go live, please let me go live. And I had to go back, and luckily I was able to get back in here, and now we're live. So that's all good and dandy. So thank God we're live right now, and we are live right now. This is the Raw review from last Monday, February the 1st of 2021, the Raw after the Royal Rumble, the night after the Royal Rumble of this year of 2021. This is the video for the Raw review from last week, February 1st of 2021, the Raw after the Royal Rumble in 2021, the Raw after Royal Rumble 2021, and post Raw and post pay-per-view Raw from the Royal Rumble from the 2021 Royal Rumble event on Raw the night after the 2020 on Raw on the night after Royal Rumble 2021, and also the same video, the SmackDown review from this past Friday night, February the 5th of 2021, the SmackDown after the 2021 Royal Rumble event as well. And I know Adam's, and yes, and no, Adam's not with me here, but the next one he will be. I know he's watching anyways, but anyways, it's about 12:42 right here in the United States of America. I do have a class, college online class at 2, but I don't want to make this too long for you guys, but I'm going to give you a good review here for the Raw review from Raw last week and the SmackDown review from this past Friday night with this one great video. So that is that. And for this video, we're going to start talking about SmackDown first, and might as well just dive into this video right away. Usually I tell you with the social media stuff and all other good stuff. Follow me on Twitter and such, the like button as well. I'm going to do that at the end of this video because I don't want to make this video too long for you guys, and have an online college class too. So the hit the like button stuff and follow me on Twitter stuff. I will be saying that we do that stuff at the end of this video. So with that being said, we're going to dive in right away with this SmackDown show from this past Friday night. We're going to dive right into it. We're going to go over what happened on the show, and I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on it. So SmackDown last week, we start the show off with the in-ring segment with Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Jey Uso. They make their way down to the ring, and they open the show. Reigns is cutting a promo, and he says that he did what he had, and Reigns says he did what he said he was going to do at the Royal Rumble, and that was beat Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble and be the last man standing. He says it's time to move on to the future. He says Owens in the past and he's done. And he says that Owens is finished as well. Reigns says this. Must take a sip of my water. I want to have a decent voice for this video, so for you guys. That's better. That's a lot better. So Reigns says it's time to move on to the future. And he says apparently that future seems to be Edge, says Roman Reigns. Roman was saying that Edge is wasting his time on Raw. Roman was saying that Edge was wasting his time. Roman says this. Edge is wasting his time on Monday Night Raw. He's also wasting his time going down to NXT this past week. Reigns says you shouldn't be on Raw, shouldn't be going down to NXT. You should be going to SmackDown. And then Reigns says that if Edge wants to be in the main event, there is no choice. Reigns says Edge should be out here begging for him to allow him on the island of relevancy, says Roman Reigns, or something like that. Yeah, says Roman Reigns. Then Reigns says that he wants to know why he's out here first. Reigns demands Heyman to get Edge out here right away. And then Heyman was telling this stagehand, this a timekeeper guy. Heyman was telling this guy to hit Edge's music. Edge doesn't come out though, because he's the ultimate opportunist and he's the master manipulator. Reigns then yells that Edge must think he's a fool. And Reigns is like yelling on the mic. Reigns is just yelling on the mic. He says that Edge must think he's a fool. Stop. He's like, Edge, you must think I'm a fool. Stop playing mind games with me, says Roman Reigns. And then Reigns says the last person who thought he was a fool was Kevin Owens, and he isn't here anymore. Reigns then demands that Edge give him his decision by the end of the night. And then that was that for that segment goes. Very good segment. Really good segment. Reigns, the tribal chief Roman Reigns, good as always. And this was no different. Roman should not be losing that title anytime. Roman should not be losing that championship anytime soon. I'm telling you right now. And still Edge and Roman is not the way to go. And if they're gonna do Edge and Roman, Roman better go over. If he doesn't, there's a fucking problem. Roman Reigns should not be losing that Universal Championship anytime soon. He should not be losing that title anytime soon. Roman Reigns at this point is a god at this point. He is untouchable at this point is Roman Reigns. Why would you even think about taking the title off of him? And Edge is not it. Edge is not that one to take the title off him. He's not. I'm sorry. I like Edge, but he is not that guy to take the title off Roman Reigns. He's not. He's not. Roman Reigns is a god at this point. Absolutely no reason whatsoever to take the title off of Roman. In fact, Roman Reigns should be the Universal Champ for the rest of this whole entire year of 2021. Reigns should not lose that title. The year of 2021, Roman should not lose that title at all. Roman should be the Universal Champion, honestly, all throughout 2021, throughout the whole year of 2021, in my honest opinion. And all, yeah. And if you have Edge beat Roman, there's a big fucking issue. Edge beats Roman, that buries Roman, and it's not good for Roman. It's not good for SmackDown. Edge is Universal Champion, does harm to Roman, and also does harm to SmackDown. You don't want that. I hope Edge does not beat Roman, and I hope it's not Edge versus Roman. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And all in all, this opening segment really good. And Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, a god on the mic as always. So, Roman Reigns untouchable as always. Roman Reigns good on the mic as always with the tribal chief. And then we get King Corbin, or no, I'm sorry, Baron Corbin. Sorry, I'm not calling him King Corbin. Excuse me. Sorry. Baron Corbin versus Dominic Mysterio with Rey Mysterio. I don't even want to go over this match at all. This was a waste. This was a waste of time. They had Baron Corbin. Well, they had Dominic Mysterio with his father, Rey Mysterio, making their entrance. Corbin attacks them from behind on the stage. Corbin tosses Rey off the stage. Dominic off the stage. Then they go to break, and after the break, Corbin is in the ring working on Dominic. And then Dominic Mysterio beats Baron Corbin when Rey Mysterio was underneath the ring and he held Corbin's leg. And Dominic Mysterio hits a 619 to the back of the head of Corbin. Then a frog splash by Dominic Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio beats Baron Corbin. I don't really care. This has been going on for, at least a while now. just end this right now and move on, please. Baron Corbin versus the Mysterios. It's, to be honest, I'm not interested at all in this. I can be honest with you, Corbin versus Mysterios. I am not interested in this at all. I'm not. I'm really not. Like how many times has Corbin fought Ray and then Dominic? Like, just move on. Just have these guys move on to different things, please. And then we get the next opening segment. Let me go backstage. Big E's backstage. He's shown backstage. He says tonight they're going to fight. Big E talking about the triple threat IC title match later on in the night with Big E versus Apollo Crews versus Sami Zayn with a triple threat IC title match later on in the night. Talk about that, which was a very good match, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And then we get the next match, Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro. Man, I could watch these two wrestle. Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro. I could watch these two wrestle all day. I really could. Daniel Bryan, Cesaro. I've never seen them once have a bad match, but Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan, man. But again, Bryan versus Cesaro. I could watch this all day and I never get bored. Like Cesaro and Daniel Bryan, it looks like they have good in-ring. It looks like when they wrestle each other, they have good in-ring chemistry. They have good in-ring chemistry when they wrestle each other, in my opinion. But anyway, Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan. I think these guys got at least 5 minutes, and it was not a great match. It was a decent match. We had Bryan landing in a few kicks. They're like both men were trading strikes. There was one spot, I don't know how it happened, but Cesaro was busted open on the right side of his head. It looked nasty, like just blood pouring from the right side of the head of Cesaro. Cesaro bleeding. It looked fucking nasty, man. I don't know how that was, but man, did it look nasty. And they didn't wipe the blood off, so it makes Cesaro look like a fucking beast in there, which I appreciate. So then we had Cesaro almost at the Swiss death uppercut, but Bryan reversed it into a backslide kick out. Bryan almost then locks in the yes lock, but Cesaro escapes it. Cesaro then attempts a springboard, but Bryan kicks him in midair. Bryan then stomps on Cesaro's head over and over again. Bryan then calls for the running knee, but Cesaro counters it with a rack into a backbreaker. And the Cesaro swing, and then the sharpshooter, and Daniel Bryan taps out. Clean. And Cesaro beats Daniel Bryan. And after this match, Cesaro then fist pumps Bryan before leaving the ring. So a couple things. Number one, Cesaro beats Daniel Bryan clean for a second time again. Number two, Daniel Bryan is very, very selfless. He's very unselfish. Number two, could we see a babyface turn for Cesaro after what we saw last Friday? Could see that. Could very well see that. And I heard a rumor weeks ago at that gauntlet, that Nakamura run the gauntlet. That spot was supposed to be for Cesaro, but he didn't sign a new contract yet. So that spot went to Shinsuke instead. And also, it leads to number four. Cesaro's contract was coming up this year after Mania. And I heard a report not that long ago. They ringside news that said he signed a new deal. So he was positioned for a face turn, but it didn't happen yet because he didn't sign a new deal. Now he did sign a new deal, and it looks like then he signed a new deal, and maybe he's now turning face. We'll see. Now, Cesaro beat Daniel Bryan twice. Did Cesaro get a push? I'd hope, but I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm really not, to be honest with you guys. I have no faith in this company to do anything right. I don't. I have no faith in this company to. I have no faith in this company to do anything right whatsoever. But I hope. I hope I'm proven wrong, but I'm not getting my hopes up. But Cesaro beat Daniel Bryan twice. Hopefully, it leads to something for Cesaro. I doubt it, but I hope. Maybe an IC title match. Maybe Cesaro and Big E for the IC title at WrestleMania. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. But Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, really good match. I could watch these two wrestle all day and I never get bored. Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan was really good stuff here. Not great, but really good stuff here with Daniel Bryan and Cesaro. And then we go backstage with Bianca Belair. She's interviewed by Kayla Braxton. They show the footage of Belair's mother and father watching her win the Rumble from the 2021 Royal Rumble event. Braxton then asks Belair who is she going to pick to face at WrestleMania. Belair says that everyone is telling her to wait, but she's the EST and she's going to do this her way. Belair then says she will make her choice soon. Belair then says that she will make her choice soon. Talk about that in a little bit. Then we got Bayley versus Ruby Riott, the next match. Bayley versus Ruby Riott with Liv Morgan and Billie Kay. Weekly reminder, Billie Kay is fucking terrible. Billie Kay is terrible. Decent little match here with Ruby Riott and Bayley. Not great, but decent. I want to see more with Bayley versus Ruby Riott, and they didn't. Like, they had a decent match, but I just wish these two ladies would. But I just wish these two ladies would have gotten more time, in my opinion. But a decent match for what it was with Bayley versus Ruby Riott. Riott lands the Riott kick early, but Ruby Riott landed the Riott kick early, but Bayley kicked out. Bayley launches Riott into the top turnbuckle. Fast forwarding this match, we had Bayley locking Riott in the monkey clip. No, not a monkey clip, in a money clip, sorry. Kay then gets on the apron and tries to push the bottom rope to Riott so she can break the hold. Morgan then pulls Kay off the apron and yells at her. Riott reverses Bayley's submission into a pin. Bayley kicks out. Riott then tries the Riott kick again, but Bayley counters it into her headlock driver finisher. Then Bayley counters it into her headlock driver finisher for the 1-2-3, and Bayley beats Ruby Riott. Then after this match, Kay then runs up to Bayley. Kay then runs up to Bayley to give her a copy of her headshot resume. Bayley walks off. Moving on. Then we get Edge arriving at the arena for SmackDown this past Friday night on Fox. And then we get the next segment. There we go. Then we get the next segment with Bianca Belair. Next segment with Bianca Belair. Belair says that she won the Royal Rumble her whole life. Belair says when she won the Rumble, her whole life changed. Belair lists her possible WrestleMania opponents. Does Belair? Belair then puts over Banks and Asuka as great champions. I like it, Bianca, but Asuka, a great champion on Raw. I don't know if I'd say that one, Bianca, with the way that Raw is booked. Asuka. We all know Asuka and Charlotte for the women's title at WrestleMania 37. We all know that's inevitable. We all know that's coming. The Charlotte agenda just fucking nauseating. But anyways, and then Reginald interrupts Adam. Who Adam would call the Kofi Kingston lookalike. Reginald, who Adam calls the Kofi Kingston lookalike, Reginald. He interrupts and he says Belair should go after Asuka. Reginald then says Belair cannot beat Banks or even Carmella. Carmella then walks to the ring and says she's beaten Banks twice and she'll beat Belair too. Sasha then walks to the ring and she says that she's not looking. Banks then says she's not looking in her rear view. She's focused on the future. Belair's got her, and then she says Belair's got her attention. Banks has been watching Belair. Banks says she knows Belair is the fastest and strongest, but laughs at the notion of her being the best. Banks then tells Belair to choose her if she could choose her. I mean to choose her if she should choose her. If she should choose her. For everything that Belair has, she doesn't have the championship. Reginald then steps in and tells Belair if she chooses Sasha, she is going to lose. Belair then Reginald steps in and says, Bianca, if you choose Sasha, you're going to lose. And then Bianca Belair, after this, uses her hair whip, and she whips Reginald with hair whip, man. Just whipping Reginald with that hair whip. My God. My God. And Carmella and Sasha were looking on with smiles, with the big smile, with smiles on their faces. And that was that. I think this is the first time I mean that hair whip that Bianca did in NXT. I think it's the very first time we've seen it on the main roster, and I hope we start to see that. And I hope that's not a one and done, man, because that hair whip that Bianca did in NXT, my God, was it vicious, man. My God, and I hope we see that same thing. And I hope we start to see that same thing on the main roster, because that hair whip on Reginald, man, oh man, did that look fucking vicious. But man, not a great segment, decent little segment if you ask me. Now, who do I think Belair chooses at Mania? I could see Sasha, but I mean, I do Bianca and Sasha, but also if we do Bianca and Sasha, who does Asuka though? Asuka and Charlotte, we all know that's coming. I think it's going to be Bianca and Sasha because we all know Asuka Charlotte's fucking coming. We all know that's inevitable over on Monday Night Raw. But with that being said, I think Bianca chooses Sasha. Now, do I think it's too soon for Bianca to win the title? It might be, but maybe Sasha retains. I don't think it would hurt Bianca. It may be too soon to put the belt on Bianca. Maybe, but and Sasha hasn't had a decent reign enough yet as a SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, and maybe Sasha should beat Bianca at WrestleMania, and then Bianca wins Money in the Bank, and Bianca then beats Sasha for the title at SummerSlam with the Money in the Bank cash-in. Maybe that's what I would do, personally. And I think if Sasha beats Bianca at Mania, I don't think it's going to hurt Bianca. Like, Bianca's been on SmackDown for not that long at all. Bianca winning the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania this year, it might be too soon for that. Why not wait till SummerSlam? So, that's just me personally. Let me know what you guys think on that. But that's my opinions on that. But I think Bianca Sasha at Mania. Edge, I hope he chooses Drew McIntyre. I hope so. Edge versus Roman's not the way to go. It needs to be Roman and Bryan and Edge McIntyre. That's my takes on all that. Now, with this segment, a decent segment, not a great segment, but a decent segment. Now, with this segment, I thought Rhea Ripley was going to come up because there was a botch from the Women's Rumble not long ago. Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, it looked like both their feet touched the floor or whatever. But I thought Rhea was going to come out here and address the situation and turn heel and attack Bianca, but apparently that wasn't the case. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, with their main roster call, I'm hearing rumors she's going to SmackDown and not Raw. And you know what? Rhea Ripley, I would now listen. Now Raw is the worst show on television. SmackDown is no better, but I'd much rather Rhea on SmackDown than drown and die 1,000 deaths on Monday Night Raw. Because Raw is just fucking absolutely god-awful. It really fucking is. And the Raw Women's Division is fucking laughable as well. It really, really is. With Rhea on SmackDown, there's much better matchups for Rhea on SmackDown. Rhea versus Sasha, Rhea versus Bayley, Rhea versus Bianca, Rhea versus Carmella, Rhea Ripley and Natalya, Rhea Ripley and Ruby Riott, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley and Sonya Deville. If Sonya Deville wrestle soon on SmackDown. Hopefully, if Rhea versus Sonya, if Sonya wrestles again on SmackDown soon, hopefully on SmackDown, hopefully. If Becky Lynch comes and Seth Rollins is on SmackDown, and if Becky Lynch comes to SmackDown, Rhea versus Becky. If Ronda comes to SmackDown, Rhea versus Ronda. You know, etc., etc. You know, much better matchups for Rhea on SmackDown. Rhea on Raw, she just get lost in the shuffle, and Raw's just so terrible. And what happened to Rhea at WrestleMania 36? Why would you want Rhea on Monday Night Raw? There is no use. There is no use for Rhea Ripley to go to Raw. Why? So she would get killed and buried too? Come on. Come on. And the Raw Women's Division is fucking laughable. Who is there in the Raw Women's Division that you actually give a crap about? There's nobody. There's nobody. Asuka's Raw Women's title reign has been terrible, and it's not her fault. Nikki Cross buried, and then Titus catering. Mia Yim catering. Dana Brooke sucks. Mandy Rose is buried. Lacey Evans, don't even get me started on Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is terrible. Charlotte Flair is fucking nauseating. Peyton Royce is decent, but she's stuck with Lacey Evans. Nia Jax is a hazard and is unsafe in that ring. Yes to Shayna Baszler, but she's stuck with Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler is worth so much more than being paired with Nia Jax. And let Nikki Cross, like I said, she's buried and she's in catering. Alexa Bliss is a valet. She's not even wrestling much at this point. She's a valet for the Fiend right now, as Alexa Bliss right now. They got Lana, who's more of a manager than a wrestler, and Lana's not all that good. Oh, but there's Naomi, man. I give this, like Naomi on Raw, I give this 2 weeks until Naomi's back in catering on Monday Night Raw. I give this 2 weeks, guarantee it. So Naomi, and then Raw has, and then Raw has Naomi too, but Naomi on Raw, she'll be in catering within 2 weeks. I guarantee that. You think Naomi and Lana are going to be women's tag champions? Come on. If you think Lana and Naomi are going to be women's tag team champions, you are a fool. You are a fool. The Raw Women's Division is fucking absolutely abysmal. The Raw Women's Division is in fucking shambles right now. It's not even funny. The women's divisions in AEW, NXT, NXT UK, and SmackDown, those 4 women's divisions blow Monday Night Raw's women's division out of the fucking water. It's not even funny at this point, guys. It really isn't. That's how laughable the Raw Women's Division is. That is how laughable the Raw Women's Division is. The Raw Women's Division at this point, the Raw Women's Division is a fucking joke. It's a joke. It is a joke. But Rhea on SmackDown, Rhea on SmackDown, I'd much rather Rhea on SmackDown than Drow on Monday Night Raw. And that's my opinion. And that's a fact. That's a fact. SmackDown's no better, but Raw's the worst. At least on SmackDown, you have at least you have somewhat of a chance of success over on the blue brand on SmackDown. But Raw, forget about it. On Raw, you have 0 chance. 0. You have 0% chance on Raw. That's my take on all that. And about 110, 50 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna make it for this Raw review thing right here, but anyways, about 50 minutes left. I don't want to make it so long, and I don't want to be late for my online class. So my online class is from 2 to like 3:50 today. So right after that, 4 o'clock, About 4 o'clock, I should be starting my Raw review from last Monday. But my goal to get that Raw review in as well by tonight. So anyway, so gave my opinions on Rhea Ripley, obviously Bianca Belair, and Roman Reigns and all. So we might as well get to the next segment. We have, hold on. There we go. And then we go backstage with Sami Zayn. Okay, yeah. So then moving on, we go to the next segment of the show from SmackDown last Friday. So yeah, before we move on to the next segment, yeah, this video, just a SmackDown review show from last Friday. The Raw review, it's going to be at around 4 o'clock today. So look out for that. So no, I know it's a late change, but I don't want to be late for my college class. So anyways, let me go backstage. Sami Zayn is shown backstage. He's with his camera crew man with the conspiracy theories, this genius that Sami Zayn is. Sami says everyone is against him, all these conspiracy theories against him and all. He says his documentary crew has been filming every minute of it, of this conspiracy theories against him. Sami then says tonight he will reclaim what his Intercontinental Championship that he was robbed of in that lumberjack match from Christmas night a while ago. Sami says tonight he reclaims his championship, the championship of the people. And then that was that. Then Paul Heyman is shown, and he tells Reigns that Edge has arrived in the building. And then we got the next match, Otis and Chad Gable versus the Dirty Dogs, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions of Bobby Roode and hold on. Adam, I hope you're watching this, brother, but the reworded, the Dirty Dogs, the unglorious Bobby Roode, and Adam's favorite idiot, Dolph Ziggler. Oh, but Bobby Roode is glorious, man. Glorious on NXT? Okay. On the main roster? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And Dolph Ziggler. Oh, but how is he an idiot, man? He's a good wrestler, man. He's a good wrestler, that's true, but Ziggler, in terms of brain cells? In terms of brain cells, Ziggler, there's a reason why Adam calls Dolph Ziggler the idiot known as Dolph Ziggler. There's a reason why Adam calls Dolph Ziggler the idiot known as Dolph Ziggler. Because Ziggler doesn't have that much brain cells, though he's a good wrestler. But Dolph Ziggler, Adam's favorite idiot. Thought I'd make that little joke there and hope you're watching, Adam. So, this non-title tag match, Otis and Chad Gable versus Roode and Ziggler. Who really gives a shit? Who does? They broke up Heavy Machinery with Tucker on Raw chasing the 24/7 title. Look where Tucker's at right now. God awful. Absolutely god awful. Oh, but Heavy Machinery sucks. Heavy Machinery's boring. What? How are they boring? How are they boring? I guess you didn't watch Heavy Machinery in NXT then. Geek. Clown. Like, Heavy Machinery, it's like they had charisma and like, yeah. Oh, but they were terrible in the ring, man. What? What are you talking about? You got to be trolling at that point. Not the great wrestlers, no, but you can't deny that they were a good tag team. and the 2020 draft, they never should have broke up Heavy Machinery. Oh, but you gotta change, adapt, and evolve, man. Here's the thing: if it's not broken, do not fix it. They never should have broke up Heavy Machinery with the draft lost October. They never should have broke them up. And they had Tucker turn on Otis, and now look where Tucker's at now. In Titus Catering now on Monday Night Raw. With Tucker on Raw and Titus Catering making exquisite, and I mean exquisite, mac and cheese casserole for Titus O'Neil and Titus Catering. I heard Tucker makes the best. Well, Tucker, he makes the best mac and cheese. Not only that, but he makes a delicious, and I mean a delicious mac and cheese casserole. He has like a little bit of hot sauce. It's nicely seasoned, salt and pepper. He's got extra breadcrumbs on it. Parsley on it? No, sorry, bro. It's like and then parsley, not so though, because Titus is not a fan of parsley on mac and cheese though. But Tucker makes excellent mac and cheese casserole for Titus O'Neil and Titus Catering. Then, and Tucker also has that mac and cheese for Matt Riddle on Raw and Titus Catering, because Matt Riddle on Raw and Titus Catering, he makes the best pizza. Matt Riddle is the MVP pizza boy for Titus Catering, for Titus O'Neil and Monday Night Raw. I heard Matt Riddle is an awesome pizza boy maker. He makes excellent fucking pizzas, man, is Matt Riddle. Pepperoni, cheese or plain extra cheese, mushrooms, olives, green bell peppers, onions, meatball, bacon, chicken bacon ranch, meat lovers, buffalo chicken, etc. Margarita pizza, that kind of pizza. Anchovies? No, because I don't like anchovies on pizza, But anyways, are we talking about food, or are we talking about SmackDown? Oh, super chat here. What's up, Cameron? Hey, Nick. Cameron Johnson, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? Cameron, what's up, Cameron? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today, brother. Cameron, I know we're all getting ready for shitty Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm definitely gonna need this and a drink and a cup of coffee. Definitely, I'm gonna need all that for Monday Night Raw tonight. Cameron also in the super chat. I thought SmackDown was a decent show. I agree. Now, I would agree with that. Like SmackDown last week, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like Monday Night Raw bad, because that show was fucking terrible, and I mean terrible, beyond repair. Because Raw is just fucking god awful. SmackDown, I thought, and I would agree with you, Cameron, SmackDown last week I thought was a decent show. It was like in the middle. It was like, It was like in the middle. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It was not Monday Night Raw terrible. Like, oh my God, I want to shut the show off. It wasn't that at all. SmackDown was decent last week. Much better than Monday Night Raw, in my opinion. So that's that. So this tag match with Rude and Ziggler versus Otis and Gable. Rude and Ziggler win, with Rude hitting the glorious DDT on Chad Gable for the win. Poor Chad Gable. He deserves much better. Can we clear Jason Jordan and bring back American Alpha, please? I would like that. Heavy Machinery, please reunite them. That's all I'm going to say on that. Now, champion should not lose clean. The champions won. Okay. But you couldn't give Otis and Gable the Street Profits? Come on. Do better. Do fucking better. Speaking of the Profits, they had the Street Profits. Commenting a little bit during this match with with a little square screen on the bottom screen with the Street Profits. That was actually more entertaining than the actual match, in my opinion. But that's that. Moving on to the next segment of SmackDown from last week. Triple threat IC title match: Big E versus Sami Zayn versus Apollo Crews. Before we move on, we have 2 more super chats. Cameron Johnson: I wish Chad Gable and Otis would be used as a legit team. I agree. And right now, unfortunately, they're not used as a legit team, which sucks. Which really sucks. They could be decent, but at the time, why did you break up Heavy Machinery? In American Alpha in 2017, they never should have broke them up. Vince just loves breaking up teams. Vince just must really hate tag team wrestling this much, and I hate that. Really fucking hate that. And then you want to know why the Young Bucks didn't come over. Then you want to know why the Revival didn't stay. You know? And then also Cameron in the super chat: I think there's something there with Gable Noah's. I think they have potential, but the way they're being used right now, I'm not liking it at all. Or here's another thing. Why couldn't it be Otis and Chad Gable versus 2 job guys in like a squash match and give Gable and Otis some legitimacy and build them up? Why can't why no jobber matches for guys like Otis and Gable to be built up legitimately? Why are we not seeing that? Honestly. Oh, but it's the pandemic, man. You can't have 2 job guys in a squash match in pants. Gable and Otis, man, you can't have that with the pandemic, man. Fuck that. There are vaccines out now. With the COVID pandemic now, there are vaccines out right now. So don't even use the COVID pandemic thing as an excuse, because that's just a lame fucking excuse. It really is. Cameron also in the chat: that's too much logic for Bruce. I agree. Why do I come up like people like me and Cameron and Adam, DJ Storms, Joseph Conlon, the rest of the Shove It Squad group chat on Twitter? Why do we book things better than Bruce Pritchard does? We don't even work there. We literally work for free, and we book better than fucking Bruce Pritchard, who's just a clueless clown. Bruce Pritchard is a clueless clown. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And then we get the triple threat Intercontinental Championship matchup between Big E, Sami Zayn, and Apollo Crews. This was a really good match. Really, really good match. We had Big E slamming Crews. Sami attacks Big E from behind with the heel genius that Sami Zayn is. Big E then sends Zayn out. Big E then sends Sami Zayn out of the ring. Crews lands multiple German suplexes on Big E in the ring, which looked nice. Crews then hits a splash on Sami and Big E. Big E then sends Crews out to the apron. Big E then sets up his patented spear through the ropes, but Sami pulls him. But then Sami pulls him out from underneath the bottom ropes. And then Crews lands a dive on Big E. And then as Big E lays out on the floor, Crews then crushes him with a moonsault off the apron, which looked beautiful. And then Sami leaps off the ring steps and clubs Crews. Then they go to the commercial break. Then back from the break, Big E then suplexes Crews all over the ring. Big E then lands, and so then Crews is down in the ring. Sami's down in the ring. Both land on their backs in the ring. Big E's running the ropes. Big E hits that running splash that he does in the ring, one of his signatures. Big E hits that running ropes landing splash on the ring to both Crews and Sami, a double one, doing Big E landing a splash on Crews and Sami at the same time in the ring. Big E then flattens Zayn with a splash on the apron. Crews then surprises Big E with a drop kick. Crews then lands a frog splash off the top rope on Sami Zayn for a near fall. Paul Crews does a really good frog splash, though. I'd have to say the top 2 best frog splashes right now, in my opinion, are Bronson Reed from NXT and Montez Ford. Montez my honest opinion, top two best frog splashes right now in current wrestling, my opinion, Montez Ford and Bronson Reed, because when Montez Ford does, he just does, it's like a thing of beauty. Bronson with Montez Ford with his frog splash. Bronson Reed, almost like 300, 400 pounds. Bronson Reed with that frog splash. Oh man, imagine taking a frog splash from Bronson Reed. Oh man, that's like when Bronson Reed does his frog splash, it's like like splat, like squash like an ant with Bronson Reed's frog splash. Man, I kid you not. My God, my God. So Cruz hits a really nice frog splash on Sammy for a near fall. Cruz then grabs Sammy for a capture suplex, but Big E grabs Cruz from behind and suplexes both of them. Sammy hits the haluva kick on Big E, and Sammy is about to win the ICE title back. 1, 2. Then Cruz pulls Sammy out of the ring as he's making for as Sammy's was very close to winning the title back from Big E. And then Cruz and Sammy are on the outside of the ring. Cruz then press slam Sammy into the timekeeper's area. Like he just launched Sami Zayn over the timekeeper's area, so that took Sami Zayn out of the match. Cruz then takes his time a bit. He gets in the ring. He walks right into a big ending, and Big E pins up all of Cruz for the 1, 2, 3. And winner and still your Intercontinental Champion, Big E. Then after this match, Big E's on the second rope celebrating that he retained the IC title. Cruz is standing behind him, and he's looking pissed off and frustrated. It was Apollo Crews, and then he decided to change his tone, and he congratulated Big E a little bit. Then he walked out of the ring and back and then back to the back. And then Big E continues to celebrate. And then Big E continues to celebrate. Now, I want to make a couple things here real quick. One really good match here. This is what we need to see with the IC title. Number one. Number two, Big E retaining is the right move. He should not be losing. Big E should not lose that. Big E is the Intercontinental Champion. He should not lose that belt anytime soon. And with Roman and Edge, I would not do that. But if you're going to do Roman and Edge, Roman needs to win. And how about Roman Reigns and Big E for the Universal title at SummerSlam? That would be nice. Or WrestleMania 38 for the Universal title, Roman Reigns versus Big E. That's another possibility. That I would not mind either. But Big E is IC champ right now. No reason to take the title off of him right now. And Big E retaining here is the right decision. And also, Apollo Crews heel turn, it could still happen. It's still possible. Crews could turn heel still and attack Big E and join Roman Reigns. That could still happen. And also, the last thing about this right here, Big E in the IC title situation this year at WrestleMania. Who do I think Big E faces Mania this year with the IC title on the line? I'm thinking Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins, and they had a promo package with Seth Rollins returning to SmackDown next week. So Seth Rollins returning to SmackDown next week. So that's that. But WrestleMania this year for the IC title, it could be Big E versus Seth Rollins. I would not mind that. And Big E goes over, and Seth puts Big E over. That I would not mind at all. Or Adam and I even came up with, or here's another idea. Adam and I came up with this not long ago, or a while ago, but Adam and I came up with this idea. WrestleMania 37. How about an 8-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania this year? For the tribute to Pat Patterson. You have WrestleMania 37 for the IC title. It's an 8-man ladder match. Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, Buddy Murphy, and Apollo Crews, with an 8-man ladder match for the IC title, for the 8-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship this year at WrestleMania 37 in a tribute to Pat Patterson. That was the idea that Adam and I came up with about a while ago. Let me know what you guys think on that. But that's but one of those but the 8-man ladder match thing, one of the things I would probably book. That would probably be a good and fun match. And you have that match open WrestleMania on night 1 or 2, with WrestleMania this year being a 2-night event. So that's that. Let me know what you guys think on that. That could be something, but let me know what you guys think on that. That or Biggie and Seth Rollins one-on-one. Let me know what you guys prefer, but let me know what you guys think on all that. The 8-man ladder match idea or the Biggie versus Rollins one-on-one idea. Let me know what you guys think is better in your opinions. Let me know what you guys think on all that. And then we get the hold on. I'm gonna take another drink. And then we go backstage, and just making his way to the ring, and this leads to the ending segment of the night from SmackDown this past Friday night on Fox. In-ring segment with Edge. Edge makes his entrance. His music hits. His pyro goes off. Edge is in the ring. He says he's dreamed of coming back home to WWE. He says he's dreamed of winning the Royal Rumble and main eventing WrestleMania. I even heard reports not long ago that Edge actually booked himself to win the Rumble. But if it's Edge and Roman, I hope it's not the case. And if it is Edge versus Roman, I hope Edge puts Roman over. I hope Edge is not like Goldberg. And by the way, fuck Bill Goldberg. Fuck Bill Goldberg. Edge versus Roman's not the way to go. But if it is Edge versus Roman, Roman needs to go over. Roman needs to go over. Edge says he's dreamed of coming back to WWE. Edge says he's dreamed of coming back to WWE. He dreamed of winning the Royal Rumble and main eventing WrestleMania. Edge then says he dreamed of winning back something he never lost. Edge then says the question now is, who will he choose? Should he choose Drew McIntyre? Should he choose Finn Balor? Or should he choose Roman Reigns? Edge then says that everyone he speaks to gives him a different answer. And then before Edge could finish his thought, Reigns, Heyman, and Uso then interrupt. Now, before we talk about the next part of the segment, Edge and McIntyre I would do. Edge and Balor. Edge is not choosing Balor. There's no way. Speaking of Balor, I'm hearing rumors of an NXT title match this year at WrestleMania, possibly with Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. Now that I have no problem with at all. That I would actually do. And stop treating NXT like a redheaded stepchild. Stop treating NXT like that. Treat them as a legit fucking brand. And have an NXT title match this year at WrestleMania with Finn Balor, Karrion Kross. Finn Balor goes over, and then Karrion Kross goes up to the main roster along with Scarlett, because Karrion Kross and Scarlett, they should be on the main roster. Then Karrion Kross and Scarlett on WrestleMania, Vince would see them and Vince would be like, "Hey Hunter, why is Karrion Kross and Scarlett? Why are they not on Karrion Kross and Scarlett? Why are they not on Monday Night Raw?" That's exactly what Vince would do. But Edge is not fighting Finn Balor. There's absolutely no way. That is not happening. But Finn Balor Karrion Kross for the NXT title this year at WrestleMania, I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. That I am not against at all. Because NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, Finn Balor, Pete Dunne for the NXT title. Pete Dunne is not winning the title. Pete Dunne is not winning the title. And then also speaking of Edge, um, the past week from last week, Edge put over Bronson Reed. He put over Shinsuke Nakamura in a backstage thing from SmackDown last week. Edge put over Nakamura. He put over Damian Priest. He put over Finn Balor, Pete Dunne, the NXT brand. He put over Karrion Kross as well. So Edge put over Damian Priest. He put over Finn Balor. He put over Pete Dunne, Karrion Kross, NXT, the NXT brand, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Bronson Reed. That's like at least 6 talent. Edge has put over at least 6 talent in one fucking week than Charlotte Flair did when she was in NXT for 2 months. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Edge loves the business and has given his entire life to it. Charlotte Flair, she's only there for the money. Charlotte doesn't care about this business. She doesn't. Charlotte Flair is a selfish and spoiled brat. Charlotte is selfish. She didn't even want to. She even refused to put Rhea over last year at WrestleMania 36. And Charlotte refused to get eliminated by Shayna in the Women's Rumble in 2020. But that's sinking. Edge put over at least 6 talent in one fucking week than Charlotte did. Than Charlotte Flair did when Charlotte was in NXT for 2 months last year in 2020. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. That should tell you something. Very, very telling. Edge loves the business and has given his entire life to it. Charlotte, she's only there for the fucking cash. And those are the facts. So then moving on with the next part of this ending segment from SmackDown last week. Edge then asks why Reigns brought back up. Reigns then says they don't move unless he tells them. Edge then says he's renting space in Reigns' head. Reigns then tells Heyman and Uso to leave the ring. Reigns then tells Edge to acknowledge him as the tribal chief and the head of the table. Reigns then demands Edge to say his name. Reigns demands Edge to acknowledge him as the tribal chief and the Universal Champion and the head of the table. Reigns then says if Edge can't, he needs to go. And Edge and Roman are staring down at each other. And then all of a sudden, from behind, Owenson hits the ring. Kevin Owenson hits the ring, and he drops a stunner on Reigns in the ring. Edge then smiles, and then Owens walks away. And then that was that with SmackDown last week, and that's how SmackDown went off the air last week. Reigns and Owens continuing this, I'm not really a fan of. Do we see Owens and Reigns again at the Chamber? I don't know. But we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think. But let me know what you guys' thoughts on all that. But all in all, again, SmackDown last week, a decent show. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't Monday Night Raw terrible at all. Not by any means, because Raw is just fucking absolutely abysmal. Raw is absolutely fucking abysmal. Raw is the worst show on television. When you have Bad Bunny cross-bodiing the Miz, when you have Bad Bunny, when you have Bad Bunny or Bugs Bunny, Bad Bunny, when you have Bad Bunny taking down Miz and Morrison with a cross-body and all, you know you got a fucking problem. You know you got a big fucking problem. Raw is the absolute worst show on television. SmackDown last week was decent. It was It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't Raw terrible. SmackDown was in the middle. It was like this in the middle. To be perfectly honest with you, if I were to grade SmackDown last Friday, I would honestly give it like in the C territory. To be honest with you guys, SmackDown last Friday was decent. A decent show last Friday was SmackDown, and much better than Monday Night Raw. Much better than Monday Night Raw. I don't know how like a show like any show being worse than Raw. I don't know how that's even fucking possible, man. Seriously, how do you get worse than Raw? It's just damn near impossible. And anything is better than Monday Night Raw. Anything is better than Monday Night Raw. SmackDown last Friday was a decent show. And that's your SmackDown review from SmackDown last week. With the SmackDown after the Royal Rumble last Friday on SmackDown on Fox. With SmackDown last Friday on Fox, February the 5th of 2021. And that's SmackDown review. And I have a college class in less than 20 minutes. College class today online for me from 2 to like 3:50, 4 o'clock. But right after I get out of my class, I should be doing my Raw review. It's going to be live here on YouTube, just like the SmackDown review video right here on the channel. So look out for that. And that is that in the Raw review after my college class today. So around 4-ish, expect the Raw review here on the channel from the Raw show from last week. Expect me to shit on that. Like Adam and I are going to shit on Raw tonight. So expect all that, guys, and that is that. Follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiori.31. Follow me on Facebook if you like, guys. And hit that like button as well on this video. Hit the subscribe button as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well, guys. It'd be greatly appreciated. And turn on that bell for all notifications as well when you do so. Make sure you turn on that bell for all notifications, not some, all notifications. So then that way, whenever you get notified, whenever I'm uploading videos onto YouTube for the channel, whenever you're notified when I do that, so you know what's to come. So make sure you subscribe to the Furious Nation YouTube channel. It would be really greatly appreciated. It would be greatly appreciated, guys. Make sure you turn that bell. Make sure you turn on that bell for all notifications, and also make sure that like button as well, guys. That would also be greatly appreciated. And that is that. I'm Nick Fiori. This is the Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. I'm Nick Fiori, Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the SmackDown review right here on the channel. SmackDown last week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and had a good time with this video. Hope you liked the video, guys. Hit that like button. And thank you guys so much for joining me here for the SmackDown review video with SmackDown from last week. And I will see you about 4-ish today for the Raw review from Raw last week. Raw, February 1st, 2021. The Raw after the Royal Rumble. The Raw after Royal Rumble 2020. The Raw after Royal Rumble 2021. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'll see you guys in a little bit at 4 o'clock today. See you in a little bit. See you in a couple hours.